Mic check, 1 2 1 2, mic check, 1 2 1 2. What is good? What is good? What is good, beautiful people? Of course, you know who I be. Good dot Mike TV. Back again, once again. You should already know this one is poised to be an instant classic in the making. If this is by far your first time to the Dr. Mike TV experience, make sure you subscribe and notify and do all the good things to make yourself well versed to the good that's content. Let's just cut through all the BS and let's get to it. My apologies for being gone for a very long time, but good doc got something to bring her back into the game. Ladies and gentlemen, another foreign man has been kidnapped there in the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to waste your time. Let's go ahead and try to get into the story real quick. Let me share my screen with you real quick. Uno momento. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as it reads, American YouTuber shot by gunmen in the Philippines who kidnapped him with a speedboat. Ladies and gentlemen, when my father first introduced this to me, I was shooketh. I was like, oh man, not another one of these stories again. But we here now, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead and lock in. Let's get these pop-ups off the screen. All right. An American YouTuber living in the Philippines was kidnapped from his home by a group of masked guys with guns who shot him in the leg and whisked him off on a speedboat. This is what the authorities said on Friday. So within the last 3 days or so, this is recently coming out. The young man by the name of Elliot Eastman, 26 years of age, from the state of Vermont, was taken by, Yeet Point, in Sibuco, a coastal town in the island of Mindanao in the country's south. That's Zamboanga City. On Thursday, they said he was taken by four gunmen. The suspect, armed with M16s, some very serious, weaponry, and dressed in black clothes, forced their way into this man's home where he lives with his Filipino wife and opened fire when he tried to fight them off. That's what the cops said. This is a picture of the young man here, 26 years of age. I've seen pictures. I hope they got pictures of him and his wife so you understand where I'm coming from with this particular article. But if not, I will give you some further explanation. Okay. The men forced and injured Eastman on the Gateway boat and fled out to sea. This is what the authorities are saying. Several Filipino law enforcement agencies have since launched a hot pursuit operation in a bid to find this missing American. The abduction was reported to cops by Eastman's father-in-law. I'm assuming that would be the father of his wife, Filipino gentleman, I'm assuming. Eastman has been living in the Philippines since May after meeting his future wife. Her name is Carisha Jala Eastman. And he visited the country earlier that year. After they tied the knot in July of 2023, he returned to the U.S. for a brief period before permanently relocating to his Muslim, there we go, spouse's hometown. Based on the initial profile given to the police, he got married to a local in the area. That's what the police are saying. That would be his wife. And actually, if you type in his name, Elliot Onil Eastman, as it's spelled in this article, his actual Facebook is still active. And you'll be able to see a bunch of videos and pictures of him and his wife in their traditional Philippine, what I believe the Philippine Muslim regalia. They got pictures together dressed in a certain light. So I'm not sure if he is Muslim himself. I'm assuming that he is because I don't believe that he would be allowed to marry her in the Philippines if he did not follow those traditions or customs. That's really, really something I've seen amongst the Muslim community anywhere in the world. You have to be part of the same community, right? You got to convert. One of y'all got to convert. And clearly it looks like this young man converted, if you ask me. All right. He had been there in the Philippines for about 5 months. Eastman regularly shares footage of his life in the Philippines on his YouTube channel and other social media platforms. They do not give the name of his YouTube channel, but if you go to his Facebook, you can click on the videos that he has there and it'll take you to his channel. Unfortunately, I'm unable to shift to his Facebook page right now because Facebook is not logged in on this particular computer. Um, he said he came to the Philippines about a year and a half ago where he met the love of his life deep in the mountains of the red zone of the Philippines. Bro, deep in the red zone of the Philippines. Y'all should know that ain't no place for no foreigner, but let the good doc continue. Zamboanga del Norte is recently developed area in the Philippines that was only accessible by boat. Wow. So you can only get to Zamboanga del Norte by boat. Does that sound? They don't even sound safe, but let me keep going. He said in this thing that he'll be showing his day-to-day life as the first and only foreigner to have ever lived in Sibuco for a long period of time. It's not funny, y'all. But this shit kind of cracked me up. The Southern Philippines, the homeland of Muslim minority and the largely Roman Catholic nation, is home to the Abu Sayyaf, excuse me, which is listed as an organization, organization. You read it there. And the U.S. and the Philippines, the group has been known in the past to carry out mass kidnappings for ransom, particularly targeting Americans and other Western tourists and religious missionaries. As of Friday, police said no one had demanded a ransom for Eastman's abduction. U.S. Embassy spokesperson in Manila told reporters that it was aware of the reports and are coordinated with other local authorities. They declined to comment as of this time. Ladies and gentlemen, time to stop the show just for a second. If y'all give me a minute, because this here is something else, right? So my man basically is telling you that he was the only foreigner to live in this particular area for a long period of time. A lot of people often ask me, Doc, man, is the Philippines safe, man? I hear about all this kidnapping all the time and all of this stuff, Doc. What is really going on in the Philippines? Can you let me know? Can you enlighten me? And I often tell people, Philippines, for the overall majority of us, it is a safe place to be. It truly is. It's a very, very, very safe place to be as long as you travel within certain areas. I say this all the time. I can always speak and vouch for Davao City. You don't necessarily, and I'm speaking more specifically about Davao, the city, not Davao, the region. Let me make sure I preface that when I say this. Time and time again, when I tell you that Davao is safe, I am vouching for the city. I do not vouch for anything south of Jensen, and even though I'm a little skittish about Jensen too, every now and again, it gives me a funny vibe when I was there the last time. Not saying that anything gonna happen, but I do not vouch for anything south of Jensen. I do not vouch for anything north of Tagum. So Panabo and all that in between Davao City and Tagum, cool. Everything on the other side of Tagum, I cannot vouch for that shit because I don't know what goes on in those areas. Moncayo and those areas above, ladies and gentlemen, the good doc cannot tell you whether it's going to be safe or not. So when you hear about a man that vouches and brags about the idea that he's the first foreigner, keep in mind, and I say this with all due respect, Caucasian foreigner to live in Sibuco, which is this Zamboanga del Norte. I know some people who will vouch for Zamboanga. I can't. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. Zamboanga, I've heard too many not so good things about it. And I remember one time when I was talking to a gentleman about going to visit Zamboanga. This is a Filipino that I'm speaking to. My man said, just don't do it. Right? He said, don't do it. He said, that's that. Just avoid that area. He being a Filipino cannot comfortably tell me, the 400 man, that it was gonna be okay for me to be in an area like that. Y'all was talking about just going to Zamboanga City, not Del Norte or anything like that, just the city. He's like, nah, you don't think you want that, right? So if a Filipino's telling me that, I'm surprised nobody told this gentleman here that certain areas in the Philippines are off limits. In the article, it listed it as a red zone. Okay. And it's only accessible by boat. Wow. I think that in certain elements at this point, you are pushing a limit that I don't believe needs to be pushed. Okay. I do not believe that it needs to be pushed. And this gentleman pushed it. And unfortunately, he is now living the motto F around and find out, because now he's found out that that's not an area for him. Granted, he got married. I can't imagine his wife even believing that it would be a safe place for him. Maybe his family or the people he was with, maybe they thought, oh my God, this foreigner, he'll be okay here because he's with us. Now look at him. My man took a bullet to the thigh. So I've heard. My man took a bullet somewhere. And there's still no proof of life for this gentleman. And all I can say right now is that I got to send my prayers up to him and pray that he is okay. But ladies and gentlemen, this is another cautionary tale to all of my foreigner men out there. You have got to be careful about the areas in which you go into. Man, Manila, stay popping, right? A lot of foreigners there. A lot of foreigners can vouch for the city of Manila because, hey, not too many people are going to risk doing an activity like that and trying to get foreigners kidnapped and shit. They're not gonna risk that in no major city, right? They're just not, right? But when you start to take yourself out of the out of the city, and you start isolating yourself into these rural areas, please believe and he's white, I'm just gonna say it, y'all. I have to address the elephant in the room. My Caucasian brethren, I love y'all, and I want y'all to travel. I want y'all to get it in. I want you to have as much fun as humanly possible. But y'all got to be a little bit more careful than us black folk. Okay, I'm not willing to risk going into some of these areas. My wife would look at me all kinds of ways, stupid, sideways, and all kinds of shit if I even mentioned trying to go to certain areas just because I heard it was a place to check out. Right? It's new, it's adventurous, it's fun and shit. She'd be like, "Man, you better sit your fun ass down here in Davao and be happy. You better be glad I'm letting you go to Davao." Type shit because these areas are not safe for everybody. Right? And the more you isolate yourself from everybody else, the foreigners and other communities and big cities and stuff like that, where the police is in abundance and things like that, the more you isolate yourself, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? You're gonna find yourself in situations like this poor gentleman here, and he's only 26, y'all. This man still got his whole life ahead of him, and I'm praying they find him. But damn, it's not looking pretty, y'all. He took a bullet to the leg, or I'm believing it was the leg area. Um, I'm not sure. Let me stop lying, but I believe a bullet somewhere. They said he had been shot. Keep in mind, he had been shot. Nowhere near probably a hospital that can assist him. And please believe the people who kidnapped him probably, maybe they'll try to surgically remove it if they're trying to ransom out this cat or something. I don't know. All I know is that this brother put himself in a situation. I call him brother because he's a traveling brother. And, I kind of, that's part of the community, whether you see it or not. You know, you did all this shit. Now look at you, man. Married a beautiful young lady, and you don't know if you'll ever see her again. I mean, what is going on? My man got taken from his own home, his place of dwelling, right? Full time foreigner now. He full time in the Philippines, right? Left everything in the US behind. His father in law had to report this, right? I don't know what family he has in the United States. I don't know if they're going to try to ransom this cat out or not. I don't know. All I do know is that it's feeling, and I hate to say it this way, that another one done bit the dust because they took a chance on living in these very, very rural areas, which nobody, no foreigner should ever condone, right? So now I have to wait for the outcome and pray that they find this guy, but it's just not looking like it's bright, right? If this happened 3 days or so ago, man, I can't tell you what's gonna happen. And that's the scary part, ladies and gentlemen. And I want y'all to use this as a cautionary tale. Ladies and gentlemen, stay out them rural areas. Just don't go. Right? My man wanted to use it as a bragging point. Yeah, first foreigner to live here for a long period of time. Hey, look at me. I'm not sure what his YouTube channel is, but I'm pretty sure you can find him if you look him up. But everybody, hey, look at me. I'm the foreigner who's choosing to live in this dangerous, high risk area. And now look at you, man. Y'all gotta be careful for the shit y'all do for content, that's for sure. And you gotta be careful because these people ain't looking out for your best interest. It's sad, man. It truly is. But guess what? Use this as your cautionary tale. Stay out of these rural places, man. I mean, you gotta travel deep, 40, 50 people deep, right? Not all foreigners either. You gotta travel deep if you want to make sure that your time in certain areas is safer than most. And then again, honestly, I know why he was there because that's his wife's hometown, etc. But for me, I'm trying to figure out why the fuck you would be there. Now, after you see that, do you think that this is the place for you? If you're scared to travel to the Philippines, I understand, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to hold it against you if you don't go. But let's be honest, the same thing is happening in Latin America, South America. You hear about stuff there too. So it's not as if this can't happen to anybody anywhere. But please use this as your warning. Okay. This shit could have been avoided. And now I'm a little sad, man, because now we have to hear about foreign men out here doing the most, trying to live their best life in these foreign countries. And now it looks like my man is in a rough situation. If you guys got anything else you want to add to the story, if you found out any updates, please let me know. Comment section below. It's been a good doc, man. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate you locking in. Y'all take care. Y'all stay blessed, man. Doc is out. Peace.